Good afternoon. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Midday News. The headlines. Patriotic Front member CHISHIMBA KAMBWILI praises HH for the 100% military allowance policy. Polio detected in Zambia. Details coming through after this commercial.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
And now the media news in detail. Opposition Patriotic Front presidential aspirant CHISHIMBA KAMBWILI says the move by the Republican President Hakainde Hichilema to sign a statutory instrument number 70 allowing military personnel to get 100% allowances for Zambia Defense Forces on the United Nations and other military sanctioned bases operation is progressive.
And I was very shocked that somebody has written a UPND cadre that no, the PF in their 10 years were only increasing salaries by 4%. Let's have the facts correct. When PF came into office, and I was Labour Minister, I sat down with President Michael Sata and then Finance Minister Alexander Chikwanda and said, look, the level or the salaries of the civil servants were too low for people to survive. We decided to increase the salaries of the civil servants by a maximum of 150% and the lowest of about 100%. What we did was the lowest paid employees were increased by about 100%. Then the lowest paid employees were increased by 150%. Then the highest paid we increased by about 100%. And the pay rise for the civil servant jumped by 3 times what we had found. And obviously, during the subsequent years, it was okay to increase small, because we had already given them enough salary to sustain themselves.
Vice President Mtale Nalumango has refuted claims of fuel shortage in Lundazi district of Eastern Province as being reported in the media.
Some motorists in Lundazi district of Eastern Province Thursday 10th November 2022 complained to Camnet News that the erratic shortage of fuel in the district had caused the transport business to stall while goods were unable to move, thereby affecting many businesses, and that some motorists had been sleeping at filling stations to source the commodity.
Line yonse kunozona tevutika pano so tikamba pano tanga 2 days kutoka kumizi tasiamatenda tinga 2 days per line. Kulimba fuel vandu vatigwisa makontena vachoka ku Malawi so sitizwa pamene mngatithandizire boma tipempha.
And Lundazi Member of Parliament Brenda Nyirenda took advantage of the Vice President question and answer time in Parliament Friday to ask what interventions government is putting in place to deal with the matter of fuel shortage in our constituency.
Honor the Vice President, the past 1 week in Lundazi there has been no fuel and people are sleeping on the queues. Madam Vice President, they told me this morning to find out what is it that is happening to the fuel supply. I submit.
In a response, the Vice President has disputed the allegations of fuel shortage in Lundazi district and that no one is sleeping at filling stations to source for the commodity.
Speaker, I think it is important for me to note that from the description of Lundazi, it must be a very developed district. If people are sleeping on the line looking for fuel, I think, members, let us not exaggerate a situation that in Lundazi people can queue on the line, surely. You know what I'm talking about, Honorable.
The Vice President, however, says the shortage, if at all it is there, might be due to delays by the oil marketing companies to deliver the commodity to the district and has directed relevant ministries to look into the matter.
If that situation now it has taken a whole week, I know there are other people that also have raised concern about this. It is the delivery. I think the ministry and the regulators will work to ensure that fuel reaches the intended areas. Otherwise, for the country, we have enough. In fact, Malawi, I'm informed Malawi is purchasing fuel from us. So how come that people may allege that we don't have enough fuel? There is enough fuel, but I'll call upon the minister and the regulators to ensure that all parts of the country have the fuel.
Meanwhile, Mufumbwe, Member of Parliament Elliot Kamondo, also asked the Vice President if at all government has any comprehensive land audit report in order to deal with the challenges of illegal land allocation. In a response, the Vice President said it is expensive to do land audit, but that government is looking into the matter.
Just talking about land, how much arable land we have, and invite people without proper evidence of what we have, it is difficult. But government is working on that. We know it's expensive, but it is important. It must be done, and I believe that it will be done. But I can't give the date because your question was when. I don't have the dates that I can give. It's my prayer that it can be done. I don't even know whether the budget has captured anything. That means it may not be 2023. It may be later.
Prudence Chota reporting for Camnet TV News.
Residents of Chibolia compound in Lusaka have praised the decision by the police to start removing the community gangs, locally known as junkies, from the neighborhood as a way of fighting criminality.
While youths in Zambia make up over 50% of the population according to the United Nations, the future of majority of the youths is not certain, as many of them engage in illicit activities like drug and alcohol abuse, which often lead to criminal activities. Places like John Leng, Misisi, Chibolia and Kanyama in Lusaka are known for high levels of pickpocketing, rape, robbery, and even murder. The state of these communities has been posing a threat to the country's internal security, necessitating the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security to give a directive for perpetrators of these crimes who are known as junkies to be fished out of these communities. Residents of Chibolia compound, which is one of the areas notorious for these activities, have spoken out on the move.
Vana vakayamba so mpeza valira avo vatibira mafoni vativaja pakati nzenareka so apa yayamba timbera ku Benbela vamatenga mafoni na kuma street kuchoka apa pa Benbela kwenda ku highway paja tivamatengera vantu mafoni
ife sebe tifuna tikaleko mtenderi abantu vativutisa maningi ero vintu vatibela abantu ava vatibela maningi so tifuna kwache mtenderi
bana bakazi bamene sivamvera kapondoka mwamone suje banabiza muuza supumula muno mwana wale wamuuza chi mwana wanga so aza kuyanga binango zanuza bichaya na iwe ajo chimuzimayi so bya chilamu mchiboda muno.
Others say that the move will help in saving future generations as children in the community are emulating bad behavior.
Bali madrugs iti maona munga wa matantika ndiyo zo yumachi wawa na ndiyo nyemba munga ni repu munga ni derere vo yuma vonse so bajabana munga aba batu bonsaba baendo baviona munga ni ndiyo so bonsaba bamba kubema bamba kudya bamba kubema bonsaba bana baonongeka mchiworia mulibe mwana na kusamba baleka kusamba babapeleke kwa mene bazafuna kubapeleka kuma schools babapeleke nishi problem ya sira baba pase nchito
Apart from restoring sanity in communities, the move is also aimed at saving the youths and guaranteeing Zambia's future. The Zambia police recently reviewed that they have made headways and have so far arrested a number of criminals from the community who are in police custody. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo says an isolated case of polio has been detected in Zambia through the country's health surveillance system, urging parents to ensure that their children are vaccinated as many times as possible, explaining that there is need to ensure that they are protected against various types of diseases.
What has just been confirmed suggests a different type of polio virus, different from the one that was recorded in Mozambique and Malawi, to which, as Zambia, we have been responding to. This therefore entails the need to respond with another type of polio vaccine to which this particular type is sensitive. Children can be vaccinated as many times as necessary. As I indicated earlier, that so far we've done around 4 rounds, particularly now in the face of the threats as what we are experiencing right now. This is to ensure that they are adequately immunized and able to withstand the risk of acquiring this devastating disease. So what am I saying? Mothers, guardians, let's get our children vaccinated once again. Don't say we've vaccinated our children 4 times. It is important right now and necessary that we conduct immediately another form of vaccine that will respond to the type that has been detected in the ponds. We must all take responsibility as parents, as guardians, health personnel, and community leaders in ensuring that every eligible child must be reached.
Well, that news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Midday News, but before we go, here are the headlines once again. Patriotic Front member CHISHIMBA KAMBWILI praises HH for the 100% military allowance policy. Polio detected in Zambia. Thank you for watching. I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Pleasant viewing. Good afternoon.